protected under FERPA. So, because we are a community college and we have a good population of dual enrollment students that are not yet high school graduates, but taking courses at the college level, the question always regularly comes up is that student's record protected under FERPA? And the answer is yes, because it's any record maintained by the institution, the college, is protected under FERPA, regardless of the student's age. There are some loopholes and some ways around that where we, the college, can share information back to the high school with regards to the student record, and then the high school has the ability to share that information with the parent, because a high school student's record is not protected under FERPA. FERPA only exists for the higher education record. So any student's record at the higher education level is protected under FERPA, regardless of age. As soon as I answer that question, the next question that comes up is, can a parent request access to their child's record? And the answer is yes. A parent can request to have access to their child's record beyond the high school level, meaning their college or university record, if the parent can prove with their latest IRS tax documents that the student is a dependent. If the parent, and the only way that a parent can prove that is by bringing in the first page of their most recent tax return, and the individual is listed as a dependent. If the parent can bring in that documentation, the institution may share information from the education record with that individual. The federal regulation is kind of tricky on that one, because a lot of the institutions are not required to share that with the parent. The institution may share that with the parent. And the other criteria that must be met is that the student has not placed a withholding of their education record on file with the Admissions and Records Office. So even if a parent comes in and says, Mr. Ortega, I would like to know my son or daughter's grades for last semester. Here's my IRS document that lists them as a dependent, and everything checks out, and I go in to access the record. If in our student database the student has already submitted a request to our office to have their information kept private, then it's my job to share the bad news with the parent, to say, or the good news with the parent, to say, hey, your son or daughter has taken responsibility to keep their record private, and I'm not able to share that. And then I put that back onto the parent and the student. Now, there is information that the institution can share without the student's consent, meaning, and we can share this information with anybody and everybody who asks for it, and that's called directory information. Every college and university must define what they consider directory information, meaning that the information can be freely shared without the student's consent, and if the student has not placed a withholding of directory information on file with the Admissions and Records Office. For the Alamo colleges, what we consider directory information is the student's name, the student's major, dates of attendance, enrollment status, degrees earned, awards received, and previous institutions attended. That is what is considered directory information for the Alamo colleges. Every college and university defines that on their own. Some colleges do include other contact information, such as email address, phone numbers. That's not the recommended practice, but I have seen some institutions where they do list that as directory information. And we are required to notify students on an annual basis what we consider directory information, and that's included in our catalog that gets published once a year. I mentioned just a second ago the withholding of directory information, and that is a document that the student